All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto our power, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahasham,
Bahasham,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahushai,
Bahasham,
Bahasham,
Chakodash.
Rashakadash.
Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who taught us his truth, and who also were well. Peace and salutation to those of the hopeful elect. Just a few brothers from the GMS SF Bay Area camp coming together in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, all right, to edify the Lord's elect, all right, and to feed the sheep of Yahweh Shema Shai, all right. And as you can clearly see, those that are watching, all right, and that are inclined to what's going on spiritually, all right. Hey, it's clear that we're at the end. Okay, we're clearly at the end. All right, the last few prophecies is getting ready to take place. All right, and this major update, which this is huge. All right, because at one point, this was a so-called conspiracy theory. All right, at some point, this was you'd be looked at as crazy, for speaking on the things that's happening right now in the mainstream. All right, the brother got the clip, posted up where King Charles pretty much he announced that the digital ID that they're going to be moving forward with that,
Mm-hmm.
and this is huge because this is this is what is still a monarch. All right, he's a king, right, and he's an Edomite, and this is going to trickle over to America pretty much. This thing is finna go global.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which, this dude, he's just a puppet of the elite.
Right.
All right. But, you could see their plan, like the brothers going into it. This is a big step in, forwarding the Motb agenda. Right. And like the brother was saying, hey, at one point when we spoke about this, and anybody in general, they were thought as, bugged out, right? Here it is, CBDCs, nah, it's never going to go that way. Digital IDs, it's never going to go out. Or fourth industrial, hey, but everything is going that way, right? Yep. Everything is heading towards that. And ultimately, what does it go into? It goes into biblical prophecy.
Right. And speaking of the fourth industrial revolution, all right, Esau, Edom, that which shows you that they're actually rolling it out before our eyes. You have the uprise of these what is it called, these data centers,
yeah,
data centers that are huge data centers, and by the time people started speaking about it, the data centers are already up in the majority of the cities.
Yeah.
And and it first started when they did that lockdown with the scamdemic. All right, they used that lockdown when people was inside, and then they put up those different 5G towers.
Yeah.
They smoothed it, that one. And then now, people are talking about the data centers, and they're still being put up, but most of them are already put up already.
Yeah.
And then you got now they're talking about the ID. So this is Operation Warp Speed.
That's it. Hey, Salaki, bro, let me read this scripture for you real quick. Hey, this is like you said. Hey, Apostle Ramla mentioned, or the Apostle Ramla, Apostle Tahar. Hey, the infrastructure is already in place.
Yep.
They're just making the finishing touches on it.
Mm-hmm.
But this is Habakkuk 2, and straight to the point, verse 3, it says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry."
Mm-hmm. Right. So the things that are written, all right, aforetime, is going to come to pass. Right? That's the definition of prophecy, means to say before. All right. And the Lord, has revealed his secrets unto his servants, the prophets, to be able to understand the mysteries of the scriptures. All right. So we understand prophecy. All right. And now we're seeing it play out. All right. We're seeing it manifest, which the word manifest means to be made apparent. All right. Because like before, it seemed like these things wouldn't happen. All right. But us having faith in Yahweh Shema Shai, we understood very well where things are leading. And now, here we are. Things are unfolding right before our eyes, right according to what the Lord has said. And again, going into what they're rolling out, what's going to happen is the MOTB, which is subdermal to Neuralink. All right, they're gonna roll that out, and that's gonna be attached to the digital ID, and then the 5G towers is gonna connect the MOTB to those data centers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know it's gonna be total control.
Yeah, internet. They call it Internet of Things or Internet of Bodies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, basically, like the brother said, total control. And it was crazy because Apostle Tahar did a lesson earlier, and he I think it was Chat GPT or just asked the Google question, does the fourth industrial revolution involve chipping people? And the answer that came up was yes. Yes, it does. So, you know, we're not, you know, coming out of our asses with this. We're not just making things up. All right. Hey, we're living it. This is here right now.
That's right. And the famine of the word is going to take place too. So, you know, we're seeing the tail end. All right. And then you got a lot of people, you know, you got millions and millions of Americans turning to TikTok and the internet, and they're talking about how the economy is unbearable. You know, so, you know, everything is happening all at once. It's only a matter of time until, you know, we're in Jacob's trouble.
That's it. Yeah, everything's going to the perfect storm. You know, they call it a polycrisis. You know, you got like the brother said, you got this financial issue, you got food issue, fertilizer issue, gas issue, energy issue, but it's all culminating for what? Basically, order abkeo, right? To push this system. They're doing a reset. This is a reset right before our eyes, right? This is Esau's plan. And here, let me just play it, and then, you know, we'll grab a couple more precepts. But hey, this is what we've been talking about from the apostles and elders on down through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemi Shai. All right. And this, we've always been living in biblical times. This is just so happens to be the end.
And the end is associated with Esau, Edom, you know, having a great wrath against the nation of Israel, in which we're about to see. I got that scripture as well, but we could play this first, and then
let me play it. It's just a couple seconds. Yeah, this devil, this is King, so-called King Charles, right? But again, he's a puppet of the elite. But this is what he's pushing in his country. Soon to come to America.
My ministers will also proceed with the introduction of digital ID that will modernize how citizens interact with public services. My ministers...
That's it.
Bro, that's literally Revelation 13 and 16 jumping off the pages, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, because, you know, this isn't the charagma yet, but this is another step to the charagma. This is another step to the mark, right? Because a digital ID, what is that? It's an ID, identification digitally with your information, right? And you know what they're going to come with. Oh, people are hacking, or, you know, with the online, the outages of the internet or outages of electricity. We need something more stable, if you will. And what's the next step after that? If you can't have a digital ID on your phone or, you know, whatever, then it's going to be in you, right? That's the next step. That goes into the charagma. And it's funny because you read a couple of these people are saying, I will not be getting the digital ID. What the F? No way. I will refuse digital ID. So you see the people, hey, look at this. WEF, woke puppet king. Time to abolish the monarchy. So you see a lot of these people, you know, hey, they're outspoken against it now, but that's why Esau has to come down with that great wrath, right? And the two greatest, or one of the greatest motivating factors is hunger, right? Hunger and fear.
Yep.
So this is where it's heading.
That's right. Yep, because a lot of these people, you know, they talking a big game, all right, but then ultimately they still believe in the system. Because when Esau Edom provides that way out, they're gonna take it.
Yeah,
you know, and bro, they're literally not gonna have no choice. Because Esau Edom, he's gonna shut shit down to the point where literally this is gonna be the only option. The money that you know, the currency that we deal with right now, USD, you know, these debt dollars, that shit is gonna cease to exist, and it's gonna make way for this system that we're seeing right here. You know, the digital IDs. Now you know your digital wallet. He already been conditioning you via the Apple Pays and the, you know, the Google Pay, but now you're gonna become Apple Pay. You know, it's actually gonna go inside of your skin. And as we're seeing right now, like as he just said, that's like the brother said, that's not exactly the MOTB, the digital ID yet. This is just getting the ball roll. This is the digital IDs being put in place. That's a big part of Esau Edom, you know, pretty much bringing in the MOTB.
Yep.
You know, it's gonna come full circle.
Yep, that digital ID is going to be the interface of the C-HIP. You know, when they log in with the C-HIP, it's going to be the digital ID interface. You know, but they got to introduce the digital ID first, and then after that, they're going to roll out the C-HIP.
Yeah. Well, let's break it out. Revelation the 13, because when we go into the root words, it goes into it, right? It is digital ID as part of the root word grapho when you go into Mark. Which is that? What was that?
Oh no, Salaki, Baba Kashab, finish your point.
Yeah, I was just to say which goes into that information or the records that are stored on the MOTB.
I was gonna say, did you want me to bring out Revelation 12 and 12 first, or should I just go straight?
Yeah, you can bring out Revelation 12 and then we'll jump to Revelation 13.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, because you know, bringing this out, hey, Esau Edom, he's gonna come down with it. Like the brother said, you know, two very powerful you know, factors that get an individual to move is fear and hunger. And Esau Edom, he's gonna rule with the sword. Here it is. He's already, you know, talking about a whole nother sickness. It's looking like we're about to go into a whole nother lockdown.
Yeah.
So he's ruling it, and then this gonna be so cold that he'll really put some shit out, and motherfuckers will really be dropping dead. You know, to furthermore scare the people into submission. And it's just going to progressively get worse and worse. Why? Because it's the judgment from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai for the pride of not only the pride of these people, but also, you know, it's a part of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's plan to destroy Esau Edom. You know, the only way Esau Edom can be, you know, for the things to be fulfilled, he has to come down with, you know, what we're going to read in Revelation, the 13th chapter. But this is Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. You know, the devil. Oh, you got it, Salaki.
No, you got it. You want to speak on it?
I was gonna say that, you know, the devil speaking regarding Esau Edom, that great wrath, man. He knoweth that he have but a short time. The prophecies of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai are speaking. He's no longer able to put fear upon these nations like he was before. These nations are bucking up against him. They're fucking clowning America. They don't fucking respect America nor Americans. They like, you know, they say DTA, you know, they burn the Baal statue, so they're ready. It's letting you know we're in a time of war. Esau Edom, his deception isn't working like it used to. Bro, people, like the brother was saying on TikTok, motherfuckers are going into the actual word Hanta, you know, or Hanta virus together. And it, you know, it basically, I believe it went back to the Hebrew, which basically means like a scam, void, bullshit.
Hebrew slang for scam. You know?
So, bro, you know, his deception is waning. He was able to, as soon as he came back in power, he went out to deceive. So now that his deception is wearing off, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is not allowing him to hide himself. The scriptures say, I have made Esau bare, right? So now the last resort, right? What was given to Esau Edom? A great sword, all right? So he can bring forth death and destruction. And this is exactly what he's about to do, you know, in attempts, you know, to establish this great reset. You got it, brother.
Yeah, and like we were just reading the comments, like you said, all these elites are getting exposed. Esau's plan, you know, they might not necessarily know it's Esau, all right? They might not necessarily know, you know, they may not be able to relate it to the scriptures, all right, which the elect can, but they're being exposed nonetheless. You know, they know the agenda, right? And they do over their dead bodies. So now with the majority of people thinking like that, what are they going to have to do? Esau is just going to have to come down with that wrath, right? That's why you have, you know, the news isn't talking about it a lot now, but you have ICE, but you have these detention centers that were being put up, right? These concentration camps. Because Esau, he's getting ready to roll, and if you're not with it, then it's just going to be a straight to prison or you know, whatever. That's that wrath.
Well, they just Trump passed the bill where you know, the newer vehicles, they pretty much monitor you. You know, and if you they do facial recognition. If you look like you're not paying attention, or you look like you're intoxicated, then they'll hit the kill switch on your vehicle. So that's playing into that control.
Yeah.
So hey, man, we in that time, like, for real. You got
bro, in these buildings, bro, San Francisco, they're the new system that they're implementing within these new buildings is the intercom is able to pick up on facial recognition. You can literally enter into your house. You don't have to have a fucking key. You don't gotta open it up with your phone. All you do is scan face. That motherfucker will open up the door for you. You got the Waymos, just everything. Bro, this nigga Esau, man, he as the scriptures say, he as a God sitteth in the seat of a God, showing himself that he is a God. He exalteth himself above all that is called a God. So he wants total control. So how is it that him chipping you is far-fetched?
Right.
If he sets up these apps, these phones and everything to literally fucking just have access to your whole life. Your ring cameras. You don't think Esau Edom is able to tap into these things? Here it is. This information goes into a cloud. Where the fuck is that information stored? Esau Edom has access.
The AI data centers.
Data centers, yeah.
And they got the latest thing is the flock cameras. I don't know if brothers heard about that one, but they are already put up around. They're called flock cameras. And then, there's people that are online and they're trying to put out the location of each flock camera. They try to like go against it.
Yeah.
But, pretty much it's like, what they got in China, that so where they can do the facial ID.
Yeah.
But then they can figure out like your vehicle. And then if you got like scratches or dents on your vehicle, all that stuff is in the database.
Damn.
If you got tattoos, all that stuff's in the database. And they're already up already.
Hey, that's why we're gonna need divine intervention from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Because the Lord allowed him to get as powerful as he is. This nigga has, this nigga, he's very powerful when it comes to the left-hand side. But the right-hand side, the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that's even more powerful. The Lord gonna have to lift up a standard, for those that fear him and believe in him,
Matter of fact, let me grab that for you right now.
And then whenever Jake ready too, I got that Revelation 13, or unless you had it, your top.
Yeah.
Let me. This is Isaiah 59 verse 19. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him.
Yeah, Esau Edom is gonna come in like a flood, man. He got all type of shit, man. Things that the public has not even been made. It has not been exposed to the public. Robot dogs, fucking the things that you see in these dystopian movies. But see, these things weren't just made movies just for cinema purposes, for entertainment purposes. This is Esau Edom telling you, like, this will what was that one movie? They made 2 versions of it, I believe. I forget what that movie is called. Basically, you had the people that had the spiritual power, and then you had Esau Edom. He had the fucking drones, and then the robots came down from it. I think you muted your top.
Yeah, Code 8.
Code 8.
Yeah, Code 8. So that was Esau Edom telling you, when you look, y'all, all right, when y'all come through with that power, this what we got,
and it's gonna be through, because they the Lord, the right hand power is going far outweigh the left hand power. Nevertheless, we gonna need the power though, because of what Esau's coming with.
Yep.
On a carnal level, you can't go up heads up with Esau.
No. Well, he got.
Tom, I think you muted, brother. You may gotta go to the mic part and then see if the mic is connected.
I can hear the brother.
You hear me?
I can.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
All right, for sure. I'm gonna leave and join back real quick.
Yeah, but I was mentioning that, hey, they got, Esau has guns where he could just literally make you drop to your knees, right? So ultimately, like you read, the Lord's going to lift up that standard. Hey, but what is the Lord doing right now? He's boosting that faith. He's growing our faith to that level, to where, you know, like you mentioned earlier before we started the stream, it's going to seem like what'd you say, Shemael? Remember, basically, is like no way out almost.
What's that?
It's gonna seem like the Lord not coming.
Yeah, basically, it's going to look bleak, but see, that's where that faith is going to have to come in, right? No matter what, and the elect are going to have that faith.
Yep, because what the scriptures say, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. You know, the Lord gave us, you know, very detailed information as to how this thing is going to go down. Right? What is it? Job, where it says when he's about to fill his belly, that means the Lord is going to let this devil get to a certain extent. All right, he's gonna have a lot of people hipped. All right, a lot of Jakes is gonna be put to death. All right, 2/3, a lot of them. All right, and it's gonna look like Esau's about to win. All right, in that time, it's gonna be the hour of temptation. You know, because it's gonna look like everything is through. It's gonna look like Esau about to win. All right, but that's why, you know, hey, we gotta lean on what the scriptures say, man. All right, because a lot of people, they're gonna be like, man, the Lord ain't coming back. All right, but the Lord already gave us the heads up that it's gonna look like that, you know.
Yeah, man. That time, the brother saying the hour of temptation, this is the time where it's gonna be a great pulling of the flesh. You know, you're gonna want to seek. It's gonna be a time where you're gonna want to seek immediate comfort in the flesh. You know, let's say in a famine, some pork show up in front of you, or something unlawful. Well, you're still being tempted, and it's gonna, lead all the way up into the hour of temptation, where your determining factor is whether you get that charagma or not. Really, of course, it's if you're a part of the elect, but we know the elect aren't going to receive it. You know, that being a determining factor, but it's gonna literally pull out the flesh. You know, Esau Edom may be in your ear. Who knows what he gonna be saying? You know, you think the Lord's gonna, I don't know, bro, but we know that this nigga's the devil. You know, and we really have to be, tempted on on the highest level, man. You know, which is that charagma. That's literally the highest level, because if you take it, then you're done. But if you hold fast your faith, the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, you're a part of the elect, the Lord is going to deliver you. Or if you got to be a martyr, you're going to be one of the first to come back with the Lord Yahweh Shai in a multitude of the angels,
Because the Lord, he's going to show up. He's going to show up during the time of the hour of temptation. You know, when Yahweh Shai show up, that's going to be the end of the hour of temptation. You know, so when that time comes, really you just gotta wait on Yahweh Shema Shai from that point on. Jay got a precept?
Yeah, I had this Revelation 12. Did you have something at top?
I got a couple, but you can finish that if you still got a little bit more.
Okay.
Oh no, you was done with that, right? Isaiah 59:19.
Yeah, that was it on that one.
Okay. You could grab some stuff your top.
Well, I wanted to read this. Jake quoted it, but I want to get it because, hey, like you said, it's gonna seem like he's winning, right? Job 20 and I'll start at verse 22. It says, "In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating." And, like you said, right when he's about to fill his belly. So, he has everything in place, right? We're seeing the system being put into place where, he's going to come with the chip, right? He's going to have implementation centers. He's going to get a lot of the people. He's going to think that he's winning, right? He's going to think, oh, okay, now I got my fourth industrial revolution. Now, I could see everything. I got total control. Hey, right then and there, right? What does it say? When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Because you got to understand, there's other prophecies that are going to be going on, right? All hell's going to be breaking loose, but you're going to have World War III still popping off, right? Because this has to happen before World War III fully pops off. So there's going to be a lot of things going on, right? And then what? The Lord is going to send them nukes, and then the Lord's going to return. So it's not going to be too much long when this thing is implemented. That's what we got to remember. Lord's will we endure to the end.
God.
But it's not. Well, the Apostle Paul always mentions it could be months, if not weeks, when that thing is implemented. The Lord's not going to be having us here, ducking and dodging for years. You know what I mean?
Like how they got them post-apocalyptic movies.
Yeah.
100 years and it's still off the book.
Bro. The Lord, for the elect, that's why the scriptures say, for the elect's sake, that time should be cut short. Before we even started this, this video, we was going into how time is moving fucking fast, man.
Yeah.
The Lord is doing this for the elect's sake. Esau, Edom, bro. Hey, man, a slow day here, bro. Fuck that shit, bro. That's pure hell. So the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is allowing these days to be sped up, is allowing these days to go by quickly.
Yep.
We're moving closer to the return of Yahweh Shai. You got it, brother.
I was gonna say it's gonna continue to go faster and faster.
Yeah.
Because in the time of Jacob's trouble, judgments and all that stuff is gonna be happening fast.
Yeah. Let me read that for Jake. I'll start at verse 21. Matthew 24:21. It says, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be."
Yep.
So it's going to be crazy, right? So-called crazy. Is Jacob's trouble, all it mixed in one, right? They're going to ostracize those who aren't, with it. And we're already seeing a lot of people aren't with it. So what is he going to have to come with? He's going to have to come with that wrath. There's going to be infighting. There's going to be skirmishes. There's going to be wars, right? Resources are going to be lacking. So it's going to be a apocalyptic sight. Here's the point, verse 22. "And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened." So like you're going into, Kasaba, it's the Lord is literally shortening these days. And how much more when that thing is implemented? Right? How much more? Because if Esau were to go on, bro, everything would be through. Everything.
Saved.
Yep.
Bro, that's why the scripture said that, bro, in Revelation 12:12. It's not, it don't just say that for no reason, right? Because he knoweth that he had but a short time. It's going rapidly, Esau, well, what's the scripture say? I beheld Satan fall as lightning. The Lord is moving quick against this devil. Here it is. It seemed like, the Lord was tarrying. The whole time the Lord wasn't tarrying. But now we living in that time where end time prophecy is being fulfilled so that the Lord can fulfill Esau, Edom's destruction. Like the brother quoted. And the scriptures also say, in the fullness of his sufficiency shall he be in straits. Straits, a position of difficulty.
Yep. Yeah, it said it shall not tarry, right? When we got in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. So these things are speeding. They're going along real fast, right? We mention it all the time. We're in those birth pains, right? And we're in the midst. We're past the Braxton Hicks, so they call it, which are those pseudo contractions, right? We're already in the midst of the contractions, and everything's speeding up. Like Apostle Paul says, you miss a day, you miss a lot, right? So it just it gets to that point where it's no return.
Yep. That's right.
Hey man, we in that time. Every day you wake up, there's more and more, stuff that's coming out that's like, man, it's like, how bad could it get? How bad could the economy get? How bad does the prices get? It's all coming to that pinnacle, man. We're on the cusp.
Well, bro, in 2020, one day you just woke up sometime in March, this bitch locked down. So it could just happen overnight, man.
And they're talking about another one too. And this one's supposed to be way deadlier than the CVID.
Bro, it came out of nowhere, bro. Niggas on a boat. Then now they get off the boat. Now California, Texas, New York. Bro, what it's just Esau playing, man.
Yeah, and he's trying to supposedly they weren't monitored correctly. And
bro.
Ain't nobody falling for the scam.
Right.
They said,
but and two, these people that are been yabbed up, they could really be, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Could be messing with the frequencies, and they could be messing them up, man.
Yeah.
Well, through the spirit, bro, I believe I speak as a man. I believe Esau Edom really gonna put some shit out there though, because the scriptures say, nor for the pestilence that walketh in noonday, we shall not be afraid by the terror by night, nor by the pestilence that walketh in noonday. So Esau Edom, the Lord is gonna really allow Esau Edom to really put some shit out. You know, maybe some flesh eating. I mean, hey man, all I can tell you is it's gonna be fucking crazy.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot. The scriptures talk about many pestilences, famines, pestilences. You know. Yeah, we're in those times, man. It's about to turn up.
Time. Yeah.
You gotta get top.
All that that lifestyle of comfort, hey, we're about to be on foot, man. You know, and there's not gonna be a time where you could just sit back and rest, you know. So that's the reason why, the Lord, has, the men of the Lord in that fiery spirit, because hey, we getting ready to get up out of here. Like the spirit of the Passover, when the Lord was about to deliver us, from Egypt, all right, which we was in captivity. All right, the Lord told us, to eat, with our sandals on, staff in hand, and eat in haste. So that's how we got to be. We got to be ready to just up and go.
Yeah,
I got something for Jake, man.
I was gonna say these different rebukes, these different things that's going out. The Lord Yahweh Shai is tightening us up.
Yep.
The things that we were able to do and the Lord winked at, maybe once upon a time, the Lord now is requiring us to really tighten up, because as we seeing, we're headed closer and closer to Esau Edom coming down with it. The Lord is about to, let loose those angels, man, that's holding the four winds, bro, so that he could come down with this wrath to accomplish the will of Yahweh. But this is literally the will of the Lord. You got it, top.
Yeah, that's it. Like you said, the Lord is perfecting his men. But I had a precept for you, Shemayim. This is 2nd Ezra 16, and I'll start at verse 37. It says, "Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringing forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment." And I mentioned that earlier, these birth pains, right? It says, "Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth."
Yep. And sorrows that's coming upon these people, it's already happening now. You got people talking about, deleting themselves. You got people crashing out because of the state of the economy and ultimately the state of their life. All right. And this is the average American now. All right. Everybody in America is suffering right now. And that's because we're in the time of the Lord's judgments. All right. And it says, and even in those days, be as pilgrims on the earth. All right. So we got to be ready to be on the move ultimately. We're not going to be able to, dwell in these homes that we, you got an apartment or a house. All right. It's not going to be safe. All right. And when everything collapsed too, everything's going to go back to the government. So you're going to have the sheriffs going around. It says they shall be casted out of their homes. Then shall it be known who are my chosen. And then it goes on to say they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. All right. Because why? Because we're going to be going through hard times. It's not going to be easy, living on the streets, being ostracized from society. But we're going to have to trust in Yahweh Shai, and the Lord is going to provide for it.
Yeah. That's it. Hey, you got to remember, ever since we got here, we've been pilgrims, right? We've been strangers to this land. We weren't meant to make this place our place of rest or our home. We're just pilgrims passing through. It says, I'll read it again, verse 40. "O my people," 2nd Ezra 16 and 40. "O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle." And ultimately, how do you get ready? How do you make yourself ready? By getting into the secret place of the Most High, getting into these scriptures, the true knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. All right. That lets you, the scriptures say in Isaiah 33, right? "Knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of your times."
Right.
The fear of the Lord is his treasure, roughly paraphrasing. To know what's going on, that's a treasure, right? That helps you know. Well, once you see, we're going into it, right? All hell's gonna be breaking loose. People are gonna be literally dropping dead. Esau is gonna be going crazy. People are gonna be going crazy. So we go through these things now. So what? Now we have it stored up. Okay, this is what the Lord said would happen. So we're not bugging out like these people, right?
I got a quick one, real quick.
You got it.
Back up your point. This is Job 5:22. At destruction and famine, thou shalt laugh.
Hey, what kind of spirit do you have to be in at destruction and famine? Thou shalt laugh, right? Because you know what's going on.
Yep.
Hey, the Lord's going to put the spirit on us to have that a faith at an all-time high to where, hey, this is exactly what the Lord said, right? He said these things were going to happen. He said famine was going to happen. But he also said what? Hey, my servants shall eat, right? Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee.
Yep.
You know, has any trusted in the Lord and been confounded? Not one.
Yep. And the Lord is going to be performing, you know, his greatest miracles in this time.
Yeah.
You know, the Lord's been holding back, you know, like we see little stuff here and there in our daily life, which is a testament to the Lord's omnipotence. All right. But the Lord is really going to show out in this time. And if the Lord do that for you in the time of Jacob's trouble, man, your faith is going to be up there.
Yeah.
You know?
The scriptures say faith shall flourish, man.
God. I'll finish it out. It says, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beast of the earth, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee.
Yeah, it's like the time of Noah, right? You know, he didn't have to worry about the beast. Hey, the teeth and wild beast, that's going to be for the wicked.
Yep.
Right? Hey, Daniel in the lion's den. You know, hey, the Lord is going to have that pure hedge upon us. Lord's will we be at that number.
And that's another thing that these people are going to have to worry about is, you know, they got the plagues, the famine, you know, martial law, you know, civil unrest. All right. And then they're going to have to worry about the teeth of wild beasts. All right. All these zoo animals and then inland creatures. The Lord is going to put a certain spirit of judgment on these animals.
Yep.
Right. And they're going to be, you know, packs of wolves running around, packs of coyotes. All right. Just nabbing people up. You know, it's going to be a terrible day. And then on top of that, the apparitions as well. You know, you got a lot of people that visit palm readers in Babylon. You got a lot of people that deal with the, you know, the Ouija board. All right. The Lord's going to open up, you know, that the veil of the spiritual realm in this time. All right. We're in highly spiritual times, man.
Yep. That's right. And see, for all those people that stay in that madness, the warnings are going out. They've been going out. So there's going to be no excuse in that time.
God. I got a verse 24. It says, and thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace, and thou shalt visit thy habitation and shall not sin.
That's right. Hey, what is it, Jeremiah? Hey, the thoughts that I think towards you, said the Lord, not of evil, but of peace. You know, that's the ultimate outcome of the elect is a salvation, right? Through all these things, the Lord is going to get you through.
That's right.
That was it on that.
That was it.
I'll finish 2 Ezra 16 and 41 now. It says, he that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose. So you have businesses, you know, or, you know, you have investments, so to speak. You know that everything is counted as dung when it's that time. It says, he that occupieth merchandise is he that hath no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. He that soweth as if he should not reap, so also he that planted the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry as they that shall not get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers. All right. And ultimately, what is it? That mindset, that mind frame of being a pilgrim, you know, I'm just passing through, right? Everything here is temporary. All right. Hey, Lord's will, you know, we be beamed up. Not even these bodies are going to make it. Right. These bodies are going to be changed. We have to remember that, you know, nothing here is worthy to be hung on to if it goes against your salvation.
Right.
You know, that was it on that.
I had this Revelation 13.
Yeah, let's get that Revelation 13, 14, and then we could probably end off on Revelation 3.
All right. Revelation 13. Let me get straight to the. I'll get straight to the point.
Yeah, just get straight to it, and then we'll go into those words. And then we'll go into Revelation 14. You know, we go into this all the time, but you know, hey, any new listeners out there, you know, hey, you got to know, and this is why we know without a shadow of a doubt what the MOTB is. It's going to go into it. You got it.
Mm-hmm.
Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Yep. And who is this he? It's ultimately the beast, right? You know, NATO and the EU headed by America. But who runs the whole thing? Esau, right?
Mm-hmm.
Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Read that again, bro.
And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
And this is what we're going into. So we just played the video, right, with, you know, the king talking about the digital ID. This is part of the system that's going to be on that CHIP, right? But it's he's going to cause the whole world, everybody that's in this known world, right? They're going to be on this system. You're going to have to take the CHIP. If you want to participate in society, you're going to have to take the CHIP. And this is, you know, it's not an embargo. It's not sleeping with white women. This is an actual CHIP, which it goes into what it's an electronic oil that's talked about in the scriptures. It's basically that badge of servitude that you're accepting Esau or the beast as your master.
Yep. Which you have you know, Elon working on a Neuralink. You know, that's the mark in the forehead.
Yep.
And you know, you got people in Sweden. They're already operating with the mark in the hand.
Which there's a couple companies that are doing the brain CHIPs because they like to give the illusion of choice, right?
Right. So these things are already, you know, here pretty much.
Mm-hmm. It says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
So again, buying and selling, it's all gonna, you know, involve. This is the whole. That's why we talk about financial system and all the fourth industrial revolution, the CBDCs, because this is the system that's going to be put into place, right? And to participate in that system, you know, if you want the credits, if you want to get your food, if you want to have the house, if you want to have the car, you're going to have to be on his system. With that system comes what? The chip, right? The MOTB.
The charagma.
Yep.
Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
Yep. And this is understanding, right? It says, with all that getting, get understanding. But Bob Gashah, go into that word mark.
Mm-hmm.
This is why, you know, it's important to go into the words, because the words break it down even more. Yep. Right?
Yeah, that the word for mark, it's charagma.
Mm-hmm.
It says a stamp, an imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or right hand as a badge of the followers of the Antichrist.
Yeah, which there's many antichrists, right? But the ultimate one who's pushing it is what? The beast, right? Esau, Edom. And that badge, what is that badge? It's the chip. It's for you to accept his system, for you to participate in his system. You got it.
It says the mark branded upon horses, thing carved, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images.
And this is how we know it has to go in your skin, right? It's carved, it's graven, it's imprinted in you. It's a brand, right? It's a physical brand.
And the root of that word charagma is charax. It says a pale or stake, a palisade.
Yep. Which this is the delivery system, right? This is that. How is the chip delivered? It's delivered through what do they call it? A needle, right?
A syringe.
A syringe. Whether it's a syringe that goes into your hand or however operating syringe they go on your head, like the brother mentioned the Neuralink, right? It still takes a surgical procedure, which involves a needle.
It says a palisade or rampart pills between which earth, stones, trees, and timbers are heaped and packed together.
Yep. And when you get the Strong's definition, it goes a little bit more into it.
Grapho?
No, right here. I'll read it. I got it. It's Karak's. In the Strong's definition, it says to sharpen to a point. It says akin to G1125 through the idea of scratching a stake.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And what's that sharpen to the point? That's that needle.
Right.
You know? And like you said, you go into the root word of that and you get grapho, which is G1125.
Oh.
And the main thing here is definition 2. I'll read it because I got it. It says, well, I'll just read the first one. It says to write with reference to the form of the letters, all right, to delineate or form letters on a tablet, parchment, paper, or other material, to write with reference to the contents of writing, right? And, you know, what is information on any type of, you know, computer system, you know, you put data, it's writing, right? It's writing data.
Mm-hmm.
It says to express in written characters, to commit to writing things not to be forgotten, write down, record, right?
A record.
Exactly, a record. And that's exactly what this is. This is explaining the chip, right? The chip, right? The charagma, the delivery is the Karaks, and the information stored on it, grapho. So it breaks it down perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
If you can receive it, you know.
Yep, because that grapho that goes into that digital ID, all your information on there, your medical history, and all your bank, the new banking system, all that.
There's digital ID that they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's gonna be on it.
Done.
You know.
Yep. Revelation 14 now.
Yeah, we'll jump to Revelation 14. What happens if you take it?
This is Revelation 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation.
Yep.
And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
And see, this is why we say the warnings have gone out, right? And we keep pushing these warnings out. If you take the CHIP, if you participate in wanting this man's society to continue, which that's what you're doing, if you take the CHIP, the mark, then what's going to happen? That indignation, right? That nuclear destruction. You're going to partake in the second death. And this is why we say don't take it, you know?
It says, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name.
Yeah.
Here is the patience of the saints. It says, here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High in the faith of Yahushua.
That's it. And that's the elect, right?
Yeah.
But it also said in the presence of the Lamb and the holy angels. So those who take the CHIP, they're going to get destroyed as Yahushua is coming down. You know, that's shameful. You know. But the elect, this is the patience of the elect, right? The patience and faith of the elect.
This is
I got it. Revelation 3:10.
Yep.
It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation.
Yep.
Right.
The word patience, you know, that goes into suffering. You know, because during the hour of temptation, we're all going to have to go through levels of suffering. You know, until the Lord get back. All right. It says those that keep, you know, my patience, the Lord's going to keep us. Lord's will be part of that number from the hour of temptation. Meaning the Lord is not going to cause us to take the CHIP. All right. Man's goings are the Lord. So, you know, these people out here, they can say what they're going to do, what they're not going to do. Ultimately is of what Yahweh Shema Shai wants. All right. And those that are part of the elect, none of the elect are going to be in a chariot with a CHIP. All right. None of the elect are going to receive that device, man. All right. That mark. And it's going to be due to Yahweh Shai.
Yep. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience.
Oh, if I can say this too, just a little bit. because thou hast kept the word of my patience. You know, falling out of this truth is not an option. You know, the scriptures say, he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. You know, so we gotta continue to do this, man. No matter how hard it get, no matter how nothing. This is our only option. You know, this is our only means of salvation, man. We gotta endure the fiery trial which the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai continually puts upon us.
That's it.
You know, so that we can be covered in that time. You got it, brother.
Yeah, I was gonna say Lord's will. You know, he keeps us unto the end, right? But yeah, like it says, because thou hast keep the word of my patience. That's what, you know, since you came into this truth, everything you've been going up to, you know, going, you know, that fighting, fighting the good fight of faith, you know, learning to be patient and dealing and submitting to the Lord's will. He says, because of that, right? It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. So being true to Yahweh Shem Shai, submitting to the will of the Yahweh Shem Shai, he's going to keep us from that hour. Lord's will, we be at that number, right? Everybody else is going to fold, but the elect are not. It says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. And hey, you got it, Shemaiah.
Hold that fast which thou hast, meaning there's knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, the truth. You know, the one truth, the gospel of Yahweh Shema Shai. Hold fast, meaning to hold tight. All right, because in that time of Jacob's trouble, you know, hey, we're going to be tried to the furthest extent that we've ever been tried before. All right, we're going to be brought, you know, to the point of insanity, but we got to hold fast to the faith of Yahweh Shema Shai, and the Lord's going to pull through for us.
That's it.
All right, because the test, that's exactly what it is just a test. All right, and the Lord wants to see that those who are going to remain faithful, okay, and the people of this world, obviously, they're going to fail that test, all right, because they don't know Yahweh Shema Shai, all right, but for those that are a part of the elect, all right, the Lord, hey, they're going to pass, okay, it's written, it's already written, the victory is already written, it just has to play out. You got that.
It says, him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of the Most High, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of the Most High, and the name of the city of my power, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my power. And I will write upon him my new name. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. Right. And you know, being a pillar, what is that? That's part of the elect. That's part of being that, you know, top governing body with Yahweh Shai. All right. You know, from the beginning. And, you know, that's what we're striving for. Right. And, you know, those who get through that, you know, Lord's will, we be at that number, the elect, hey, they're going to be those pillars, right? They're going to be set up as those first fruits, that governing body forever.
Any brothers have any closing precepts or?
Nah, we get the point. Lord's will.
I'm gonna go ahead and close out. Want to give all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Hakudash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom and above.
Shalom.